This is one of the first sessions of NestGen 2024. And what are we going to speak about? I am really excited for this session because this is really close to my heart. I have seen the disruption in the nested technology space in the last 1.5 years since the DJI Dock was announced. Since the DJI Dock is announced, the adoption of drone in a box technology has multifolded. Multiple enterprises across the globe are using the DJI Dock for different applications. The fact that you can integrate these docks into your existing enterprise ecosystem really gives enterprises and different partners the ability to deploy it for multiple applications. Now, what are some of the applications that people are deploying these docks for? Well, the sky is the limit, honestly, because you're able to integrate these docks into your existing infrastructure. You can think of different use cases from inspection, DFR, to surveillance, security, etc. But one of the most interesting use cases in the last year that we have seen at Flightbase and also across the globe is the DJI Dock deployment for urban smart transportation. Well, wow, urban smart transportation sounds like a heavy word for sure. What does that mean? How can the dock help solve for smart transportation? How can the dock help solve for accidents? How can the dock solve for collision reporting? Well, honestly, I don't know. That's why I'm here. My name is Kaush Kulkarni and I'll be your moderator for the next 30 minutes. I don't know the answers to these questions, but I know who does. We have on our panel Ibo Chiu, Solution Engineer LATAM from DJI Enterprise, and Daniel Di Pena, CTO DIA from Sky Drones. These guys are the experts in the space. They have done these kind of deployments of the docks for smart mobility themselves. They know what they're talking about, and we're really excited to learn from them. So maybe I'll get started with the introductions. Without any further ado, firstly, I would like to introduce Ibo Chiu. Ibo Chiu from DJI Enterprise has working experience in telecommunication industry for over 2 years in Mexico and power industry for 2 years in Colombia. Ibo is committed to exploring the industry applications and segmentation scenarios of drones in TOB field with DJI Enterprise dealers in LATAM. He always keeps the vision of continuing to promote the progress of human civilization and enriching our daily lives. It's an honor having you with us, Ibo. So maybe you can wait for the audience and give a quick hi.
Yeah, thanks.
Awesome. Next, we also have Daniel Di Pena from DIA from Sky. He has been the CTO at DIA from Sky since 2017. DIA from Sky is an authorized DJI Enterprise dealer covering Dominican Republic. They offer a wide range of aerial solutions to large enterprises in the region. Daniel, you can say a wave and give a
hello. Hi.
Awesome. Before we let our speakers explain the topic and go deeper into the topic, I just want to set some housekeeping rules. Please, again, use the Q&A tab for your questions. Let the questions keep flowing. We will have a dedicated Q&A session in the end to answer all your questions. I'm your moderator and I'm making notes of all the questions and we'll make sure to cover most of them. Next, the session is being recorded and will be shared will be published soon. So if you want to share this across to your colleagues, to your customers, please feel free to do that. Also, we have a dedicated booths of DJI in the expo section. So do feel free to drop by the expo section, explore the DJI booth along with other booths. Also, feel free to take screenshots of the session, post the screenshots on LinkedIn, share your thoughts, share your feedback. Don't forget to add the hashtag NestGen. The top 3 posts will receive special new NestGen hampers. Wow, don't we all love gifts? Such events are impossible without their patrons, without their sponsors. So we would like to personally thank DJI Enterprise as the title sponsor and the gold sponsor, Sunflower Labs. That is it from my side. Thank you so much. I will hand over to Ibo Chiu for the remaining of the presentation. So let's get started with the session. Over to you, Ibo.
Yeah, sure. Let's see, you can already see my screen, right?
Yes. We can see your slides.
Perfect. I will just go ahead. Thanks, friends from Flybase, and another time to welcome all the participants and audience from all over the world. I'm Ibo, Solutions Engineer for the region of Latin America and DJI in DJI Enterprise. Today, we invited our dealer who has delivered in an interesting project of large-scale DJI Dock deployment with a total of over 20 units to manage the urban smart transportations. Due to the limited authorization from the end user, we would like to share the integrated solution and workflow designed for the project and some experiences on the dock site selection, design, and survey during a massive deployment. So DR from Sky is our dealer. Since 2014, the dealer works closely with public safety and enterprise customers in Central America. Since the official launch of DJI Dock 1 for global market in 2023, the dealer has delivered over 40 docks, among them over 20 for the Urban Smart Transportation project. As one of the first members initiating the usage of drone-in-a-box solution since 2020, they already implemented over 2,000 flights of dock missions. In the case study today, we want to show you a comprehensive solution designed for enterprise customers of traffic management. Let's welcome Daniel, TCO of DR from Sky, to share us their valuable experience on the dock solutions. Daniel, so
Yes.
just go ahead.
Hi, good morning all. Here we can see the drone application for smart transportation. We can see monitor and manage traffic. Uses also for law enforcement and also for emergency responses, as we can see here in the three pictures. So the dock solution for urban smart transportation, we use Flybase or FlyHop. In this case, we have a heat map on the command center, and we can deploy the drones from there, and we can be using the drones to gather data, live data, and also be sending this information back to the correspondence enforcement and law communities. Also, we can use this for emergency responses. If we have let's say a case that is in a drone closely, we can also deploy the drone right away, tap to fly, and have the eyes on the skies. As we see with Flybase, in this case, we can also create missions, and we can also create report based on these missions we are deploying right away. As we see, as is when we are doing this type of projects, we have to gather and work closely with the clients. We need to explain to them that this is new technology, right? So we were covering areas from 3 kilometers radius with the dock. We were covering 20 intersections per dock, and the dock or drone will arrive in 3 minutes from the places on a 3 kilometer radius. With one dock, we cover more than 100 accidents in a year basis. As we see in the pictures here, let's say that the dog is here, one dog is here, and we can cover this area. The other dog we cover this area. With that we can cover the whole area. When we are doing also these deployments, it's good to go with the drone. Have a experienced pilot go first with the drone and map that out. We go with the RC Plus, and we send the drone the furthest it can go, and then we go back to the office and do a radius, and we can see where is the latest point the drone can go, and go back and figure it out. Do like a heat map between the area, so we know what is the best spot to the drone can go and where not can go. Because in any case, we send the drone further, but we cannot control the camera and things like that. So this is a good opportunity and good thing to do when we are doing this type of deployment. And also, it's recommended to have a large building, to the dock to be in a large building, because you will cover more area. If you have the dock in a lower building with a lot of infrastructure, you won't cover many as you were thinking. Also, if you see in this picture at your right, oh, you passed. As you see in this picture at your right, let's say this is the drone, this is the drag radius. As as this, we have a heat map distributed, and we work with that flow. Um, Before doing the missions, we were just brainstorming on having this thing, and this is the best work that we can get from the DJI Dog one. Before using Dock solution, we were using pilots on site and visual observers for 2 to 5 hours daily, and it was so hard to maintain concentration on them, or just how do you say it, to maintain like persistent, because weather here is super hot, and also it rains and things like that. And from now that they use DJI Dock and Dock solutions, it's more easy because they are using the drones from the computer in the command center. It's more, we have a more responsive and a more precise flight than before when we were using Matrix 200 or Matrix 30. On the Q&A, feel free to ask anything based on this solution, and I'm more happy to answer your question also with Jibo.
Awesome. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Ibo. Any questions from the audience? Feel free to ask questions, please. If not, I have a few questions that I'd like to ask. Daniel, any particular reason why 3 kilometers radius was chosen? Was
Oh,
it by trial and error, or how did you come to that number?
okay. So DJI Dock is 7 kilometers, right?
Right.
But these 7 kilometers are based on a perfect environments. So when we are deploying this in cities, we have a lot of communications, cell towers, and a lot of signals that when you are using maybe the remote controller flying a Matrix 30, you will have more range. But when you have a dog, the dog is stationary there, and you have a lot of buildings and things like that. So it will cut on half the 7 kilometers. We can go, let's say, 4 or 5, but cameras and things like that will not move us smooth or things like that, because signal interference. So when you are 3 or 4 kilometers, you can operate the drone fully 100%. That's why.
Awesome.
Let's
That
say if we are in open areas and things like that, you can go more further, and you don't have this type of lag. But on urban cities, it's recommended to have 3 kilometers.
got it. I have a follow-up question on that, but we
Yeah,
have a few questions from the in the chat box.
yeah.
So Abhishek Chatterjee just asked, "What is the failure rate of the solution? What can be improved to improve this?" So, what is the failure rate, and how can we improve the failure rate?
Failure rate is so low, to be honest. Failure rate is low, low, low. I think the only thing that can help, like can prevent this, is using in the future 4G deployments. Private 4G deployment maybe will help out if in any case your country have a good 4G or 5G solution. It will be better because you can also control the drone in further from the dock. You can control the drone or control the camera. That this is the things that you face, like this type of failures. But to be honest, I will use 4G in any case that it will be as backup or things like that. I will prefer to have a radio frequency control over the drone.
Awesome. That makes sense. So, to summarize, very low failure rates, but in case to increase redundancy, you would want to have 4G
Yeah,
LTE connection.
yeah, exactly.
We have one more question. So from Irving Zhang, thanks. Could you please share with us how to manage a huge fleet? which platform and how many operators? Is there a colleague to monitor at all times? So is there a person who's monitoring the dashboard? First question
Ye-
is, yeah, so go ahead. Yeah.
Yes. On this larger feed, you will need experienced pilots, to be honest, and you will need a command center. You will also need people that know exactly how this works, and you will need like a commander that will guide all these flights and checks monitors all the flights. It's complex, to be honest, but you will it needs years of experience to have this built as today. So every day you are learning new stuff and things like that, and you need also to work closely with the authorization, like civil authorization of the country to deploy things like that.
Right. And that brings us to the next question, which is from Lefteris Regatus.
Mhm.
What about regulations? So you mentioned that you need to work with the civil authority. So what about regulations? How do you get the regulations in?
Yeah, since this is doc solution is so new, you have to uh, invite the regulators to see the solution that you have and things like that, and they will give you a special authorization to see how this works, because maybe new people in the future will also want to have these things in their field. So since it's too new, it's good to invite them and show them what you're working on, so they are fully aware and authorize you on these deployments.
Right. So to summarize, education, awareness, show them the solution, build confidence, and that helps with the regulations.
Yes.
Awesome. A question from Nilesh Palkar. How accurate is the landing repeatability inside the dock? Any specific case when the drone is not able to land inside the dock, and fail safes we have for that? Maybe
Um,
you or Daniel, anyone could answer. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, sure. The drone have a fail-safe in any case it doesn't land or it doesn't open the latch. It will go to a safe location that when you are deploying the drone, you will set up the safe location. The drone also use RTK technology that they have a 1 to 2 centimeters fail when it's going. I mean, error when it's going to do the landing. To be honest, we never experienced no landing on the
Wow,
dock.
that's
Never.
awesome.
We have also test before this. We have also test like to block the drone latch and things like that to see what happens, and the drone goes every time to the safe location.
It's a very persistent sort of a drone. They always want to land back, huh?
Yeah, yeah. They always want to land back. They try hard, but it always works good.
Yeah, what I hear is you actually tried intentionally to make sure that the drone does not land back and it still landed back.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that
we try many things. Your team back in Flybase know well. We try many things on these things because we were want to be aware, but they worked flawlessly.
awesome? Awesome. We have another question from Nilesh Palkar. Does the dock and all the internal systems, including the camera installed on the dock, so are they live? Are they 24/7? How often does the dock go offline?
Only the dog go offline if in any case you don't have internet, because the dog have batteries inside that can last. DJI says 5 hours, but I have seen them for more than 12 hours. Just to have camera view and things like that. But if in any case is there's no power on the dock and no internet, it will last for 12 hours or more.
Awesome. A question from Mishal or Michael regarding 4G 5G connection. Is there any available solution for DJI dock for European Union EU?
Jibo can help me with that question.
Yeah, right now I think with those places without internet connection, you are using Starlink, right, for the 4G signals.
No. He means on 4G connection on the drone. If we are using 4G based on drone.
Yeah, but I mean, right now, in this case, for the 4G solution, if it takes to use the 4G solution, you are using those from Starlink, right, for the
No,
dock.
no. That Starlink is only for the dock.
Or yeah, it's only for the dock. But meanwhile, if you wanna use those solutions for the drones, literally officially, we still do not support with our own 4G dongle. But you can actually find some ecosystem partners who already designed their own dongles of 4G. For example, those from Tianyu Jingwei in China, and also other partners all over the world. Actually, you can find it in our DJI developer official website to find which are the systems already qualified by our DJI enterprise. Yeah.
Awesome. So to summarize, DJI officially does not have a product for it, but there are channel partners. They're
Yeah.
partnering.
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. So Michael, maybe you can go to the website that Ibo mentioned and you can find for yourself. Uh, One more question is how is the flight path planned? How do we make sure that the drone operates safely in cases of significant terrain height variations and tall buildings? So I think, Daniel, this would be very relevant to you because in a urban atmosphere there might be a lot of buildings that you would have to plan according to.
Yeah, depending on the area, we have set fly height, and also the DJI dock and fly base, also fly hub, have a follow terrain function when you're doing a mission type to fly. So it will gather information on the terrain, and we also correct their height, and that's based on the fly hub and also fly base solution. Also, if when we are doing the surveying, we check what is the highest building, things like that, and we can also map that out on the map that we use as the flying map. We can put like how buildings, and I put annotation there, so the pilots know what is the highest building, things like that, and to summarize, to know what is the area that he can go further and things like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Got it. That makes sense. Is there any, so one more question. We still have 5 minutes, so we can take 2, 3 questions.
Yeah.
Is there any emergency measures like flight termination system, FTS, or parachute provided by DJI?
I think Jibo can also help me with that. Parachutes and things like that are third parties product that you can also buy. There are a lot of solutions in the market. And the
Yeah.
other one, what was the other question?
Yeah, flight termination system. So emergency measures. Are you able to terminate flight mid-flight if anything goes wrong?
Yeah. You can dominate, and also the drone have safe location that he can go. So if in any case the drone have a problem or something like that.
Got it. So that also answers Krishna's question, which is any fail-safe option during the flight. That also answers Left Terrace's question. Bhabarta Prakash is asking, does harsh weather affect the drone and the dock system? So maybe I'll rephrase that. Have you faced any issues? Because you mentioned earlier that weather is very harsh in Dominican Republic. Have you faced any issues with respect to weather, and because of the weather, the drone not flying?
Maybe the only issue that I face is if there's a lot of high wind, or if it's raining so hard, the drone won't go. But it's also a safe measurement that the drone is built, that it doesn't go if in any case it's rain or the high winds are happening. So it's good to have this prevention, because in any case the pilot is not aware of high winds and things like that, the drone, and he will send the drone, or in any case the drone goes out and the winds start happening when it's going out, the drone will go back to the dock and land safely.
Awesome. So there are enough fail-safes in extreme weather conditions for the drone to not fly, and if mid-flight that happens, they fly back to the location.
Yeah, it will do it right away. It will go back to the drone and returns back.
Awesome. So one last question before we sum up and summarize is you mentioned, Daniel, in the start that apart from smart mobility or traffic monitoring, you can also use it for emergency response, the DJI dock. So is it possible to dispatch drones to a site of emergency through an integrated sort of a workflow? Are you able to integrate with external systems to do that?
Yeah, you will have to have IT personnel on the company that knows well how to integrate these things, and you can integrate it also with Flybase. And you will also need to have data to put it on that system, so the Flybase system or the dock system understand it, and from that point you can also work that out. But this will take time, and you will have to work with other entities that provide these things.